I'd like to talk about a forgotten EDC, and there's a lot of people putting themselves in danger without realizing it, so I'm hoping by having this discussion we'll be able to keep people safe. Hi guys, welcome to the Doug Shoe Bushcraft channel. The EDC I want to talk about today is a water bottle or canteen and a canteen cup. It's small enough and the right shape that you can easily carry it on your person inside your jacket. That might sound simple, but it's very important. Okay, let's think about this. It's winter in New England. Right now it's in the teens Fahrenheit. Might get below 0 tonight. So what are you going to drink? You could have a canteen in your pack. Weather like this, it's going to freeze, particularly if you spend an overnight. And if it's a plastic canteen, frozen solid, you discover that in the morning, that's a big problem. At least a metal one, you could warm it up over the fire, try to start melting it. But what do you do for water? And look out here, all this white stuff. Snow is water, obviously. But if you're hiking the trail, eating snow, it's going to cool off your body temperature. Pretty soon you're going to be catching a chill. You don't want to be doing that anymore. Also, eating snow, if you do it at all, you'd have to do it slowly, because otherwise it can damage the tissues in your mouth. It's almost like a burn, the intense cold. But most people will get a bad ice cream headache and stop doing it, I believe, before they get to that point. But still, so a lot of people don't even bring water at all, or it freezes on them. And of course, the summer environment, it's a need for water with the sun beating down and high temperatures and heat stroke. If I think about winter, trudging through the snow, and a lot of people don't bring snowshoes when they need them, or it snows when they're out, or they don't realize there's going to be snow drifts up in the mountains, so then they're post-holing. And I'm not sure there's a more strenuous activity that you can do, post-holing through the snow. One of my friends, when we were real young, was post-holing to the top of his leg, and then sometimes up to his waist, and climbing out and doing it again. And I was lighter, so I was more walking on the crust, but he kept going through. And I didn't know if he was going to make it out of there. But we survived. Now I'm telling you. But so there's a lot of strenuous activity associated with cold weather. You're feeling cold. The weather turns bad. You have to build a shelter. That's strenuous. Gathering the wood and supplies you need. Starting a fire. Collecting all that firewood. So this is a lot of exertion and no water, or just a tiny bit of water that you can get from a mouthful of snow here and there. I mean, snow is puffed up. You take a cup of snow and melt it, and you only get the tiniest little sip of water in there. So people think I'll just eat snow. It's not a good plan. So you want to be safe, you want to get there and get back. And dehydration in the winter isn't going to kill you in half a day, but it can lower your abilities. And it's one more thing your body has to deal with. And you can only deal with so much, and you might not make it. So let's look into the EDC, what items you can carry. I have a few different things to share with you today. I'll start with the Swiss military M32 canteen and canteen cup. So a lot of people are surprised. They wonder why it would be so small for a military canteen. It's much under a quart. But there's a good reason for it, is with that size and that shape, you can fit it in a jacket pocket with the cup. And the reason for that is that you should always have water with you. And plus, I mean, think about it, Switzerland, the Alps, cold. So if you're in a cold environment, you pour warm water in here, you put it in your jacket, and now actually that's keeping you warm. But even better, however much time you spend out in the woods, this is inside your jacket, it stays warm, doesn't freeze. So you get up in the morning, you make a fire, you melt snow. In my opinion, clean snow doesn't have to be disinfected. It just came from the sky. But you want to melt it, and I'd make it at least warm or somewhat hot. And pour it in this, put it in my jacket, and I'm good to go. Or in the middle of the night, you wake up with a chill. You can put this on the fire, make yourself a nice warm beverage. Now you're getting that warm water inside of you. That's a good way to warm you up. And then you want to catch some more sleep. You pour some hot water in here. You got to be careful it's not too hot, because if it's boiling hot, you pour it in here, then you're holding on in the container, you can burn your hand. Also, if it's super hot and you put it in your jacket, you have a synthetic material like polyester. Synthetic materials are basically all a form of plastic, so you don't want to melt your clothes. So I'd be careful about how hot I pour something in there. If it's a little too hot, I can wrap it up in a bandana or a rag. I've often done that. So as I said, this is the Swiss M32 canteen and canteen cup. They're getting a bit more rare. And my particular one that I bought years ago has a terrible smell to it. And I've cleaned it and cleaned it. It has this small mouth. If it had a larger mouth, maybe it'd be easier to clean, but hesitant to use it because don't want to poison myself. I don't know what that is. So here's a couple tricks for you. If you can scare up the canteen cup, or if you get the canteen in the cup, and like me, your canteen is nasty, there's some civilian flasks out there that fit. This is Jägermeister. Doesn't come with the alcohol in it, comes just as the bottle, water bottle. I'm not sure what they intended, but it fits in there like it was made for it. And I've just seen these on eBay, not in stores, so I don't know where you get them in a store, but you can Google it on eBay. Jägermeister, you can put canteen or water bottle, you can put in flask, but all kinds of things come up, of course. They're meant for alcohol that wouldn't be the same size. So that's one tip. Another one is a water bottle by Zach Designs. And a lot of them, maybe all of them, I'm not sure, are Star Wars designs. This one has R2-D2. A Baby Yoda would have been nice. Everybody loves Baby Yoda. This one's R2-D2. Little decal or whatever it is, doesn't hurt anything. And that fits in there as well. Wow, look at that. Slightly different shape. Fits in there. This one's a little bit more loose. The Jägermeister flask a little bit more tight. Both are 18 ounces. The caps are slightly different, similar but slightly different. However, the thread and the diameter is the same, so the caps interchange in my opinion. And there you go. So I can have one in each pocket, and I'm good to go for quite a while. But maybe don't have those, can't find them. This is also what I've used. It's just a nondescript steel water bottle. I think I pulled that out of the dump. Somebody else didn't want it. And unlike the Swiss canteen here with a tiny little mouth, this has a large mouth on it. So I was able to clean that out very well. And I just found a cup. It's a metal cup from Dollar Tree, of all things. It's a little bit of a rattle. I've settled that down by putting a rag in between sometimes, so it's not that bad. And this also fit in a pocket, but it's taller and is round rather than flat-ish. So whereas this is like a hip flask type deal, this is more round. But if I have a winter jacket, that does fit in there pretty well. So that's another option. There's many things out there. All I would want would be a metal container that I can put on the fire and a metal cup, and then small enough that it's comfortable and easy to carry, so I will carry it. If it's uncomfortable, human nature is I'm not going to bring it, right? I'll put it in my pack. I want it in my person, so if I lose the pack, however that happens, I still have what's on my person. And plus, like I said, if you have a bottle inside the jacket, it doesn't freeze. If it does freeze, that means your body temperature is not there and you're expired and your soul's in heaven and you don't need water anymore. But as long as you're still in the world of the living, this inside the jacket, it's not going to freeze. And that's what you want. And if anything, this does have an advantage. Okay, doesn't fit as easily in the jacket, but this is made out of steel, whereas both these are aluminum, which okay is lighter, but this is very thin for a military. Again, I don't know, I'm not Swiss, but I'm thinking they were designing it to be worn inside the jacket or carried inside the jacket all the time. So this is thicker than a soda can. I have put it on the fire many times, so I'm careful with it. This also, and the original military, is aluminum. So I'd be careful, because if I had a raging fire with a good bed of coals, I could burn a hole in this, and then there goes my water bottle, right? So you have to be a little bit careful with the aluminum, whereas the steel, it's a lot more rugged. Alright guys, if you haven't been carrying water, EDC, in the wilderness, it's time to start, because you know better now and want to keep you safe. So all times of year, carry water with you. And if you live in a part of the world where it gets cold in the winter, if it's below freezing, then you want the water carried close to your person where it doesn't freeze. And that's it for now. And I'll be back just as soon as I can. Blessed is everyone who fears the Lord, who walks in his ways. Psalm 128:1.